A game with plenty of playoff implications tonight from Smithfield, Rhode Island and Burns Stadium. It's Rhode Island FC and North Carolina FC. This match is presented by Modelo, proud partner of Rhode Island FC. With former Carolina Railhawk Chris Nurse, I'm Josh Eastern. The Eastern Conference standings, both teams straddling the playoff line as we kick off play tonight. Rhode Island can move all the way up to 5th or 6th with 3 points, while North Carolina just trying to head into that top 8 with 3 points tonight. But we'll go back to last game for Rhode Island. It was Zach Haribo, a brace in the win against Birmingham. It earned him Player of the Week.
Yeah, obviously a player that Cano Smith knows very well, has a lot of trust, understanding, belief in him. It's not so much about the relationship that they have off the field, but more so about what he's able to deliver on the field. And there's nothing better than when a manager gives you trust and belief and you're able to go onto the pitch and deliver like Haribo has so far, earning Player of the Week.
Just his third appearance with the club, but he grabs a brace in the win for Rhode Island. And this Rhode Island team, they've really turned it around as of late.
Yeah, I think starting the season, you know, as an expansion team, expectations are low, but they've been able to stay in the playoff hunt by picking up ties. Now they've been able to get some bodies back. They've been able to pick up some wins, and you can see their form currently. 19 goals scored in their past 6 games. They're trending nicely, but I think Cano Smith is doing a good job of managing expectations and just taking it one game at a time.
Just that one home win so far this season. For North Carolina, forward Evan Conway, he's been in some of the best form in the entire league.
Yeah, 7 goals so far this season and 4 and 4. He's going to be interested to see if he can make it 5 and 5 tonight. A very influential player in the final third. A lot of quality, can create opportunities for other players, but also has the quality to take chances himself.
And those 7 goals coming in the last 9 games. For North Carolina, it's been a mixed bag of results, but they're still hanging in that playoff picture.
Yeah, and they've got tighter in the right department. Even though the goals may look like they conceded a lot in their past 11 games, 5 of those came in once. So they've actually only conceded 5 goals in their past 11 games, and going into the playoffs where they're just outside the line right now, stopping conceding goals is going to be what's allowing them to win games. So very important steps taken forward for North Carolina in their past 11 games.
Plenty of playoff implications tonight from Burns Stadium as we build you up to first kick. It's Rhode Island FC and North Carolina lineups in first kick on the way.
At Ortho Rhode Island, we've built the future of orthopedic care around an important foundation, you. Our experienced surgeons and specialists offer the full spectrum of orthopedic care with leading-edge treatments and technology and a one-of-a-kind patient experience. From diagnosis to outpatient surgery, physical and occupational therapy, acute injury care, and advanced imaging, we make you the cornerstone of innovative care. To learn more or schedule an appointment, visit orthopedicsri.com.
Hey Providence, we're Breeze Airways, and we offer non-stop flights from Rhode Island's TF Green International Airport. We're redefining what it means to fly up front. This one's for you. Introducing Breeze Ascent, the newest, nicest way to fly. It's seriously comfortable, satisfying, and affordable. Book today at flybreeze.com and experience the nicest way to travel. Breeze Airways, seriously nice.
At Centerville Bank, we're rooting for your progress. From the everyday moments to the challenges you overcome, the little victories, and the big wins. Because your progress is our purpose. Centerville Bank, progress on purpose.
It's more than a game. It's more than a rivalry. It's a derby. Your Rhode Island FC versus Hartford Athletic. Come on, Rhode Island. Let's show up for our team and bring that Rhode Island energy. Let's sell out Smithfield. Tickets start at just $17. Be there. August 10th, 7:30 p.m., Bryant University.
The teams making their way out onto the field tonight in Smithfield, Rhode Island and Burns Stadium. The second all-time matchup between Rhode Island and North Carolina. Tonight's starting lineups will start with Rhode Island, a 3-4-3 for Cano Smith, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Of course, and you can see the form that they've been having over the past few games. 19 goals in 6 games. Why would you change anything? Unless, as you said, if it's not broke, Don't change it.
No changes into the starting lineup from that 3-1 win against Birmingham. That was 10 days ago. For North Carolina, last time had a 1-1 draw against Detroit. Forced into one change because of the red card to Ezra Armstrong.
Yeah, and the important for North Carolina tonight is going to be, can they improve their record on the road? So far this season, they've only been able to get one win on the road. Coming up against a Rhode Island team that's in strong form, it's going to be very important for them to keep their playoff aspiration hopes alive, that they're able to pick up points on the road.
And with that, we are just about set for kickoff tonight. Eric Tattersall is our referee. And North Carolina in white, in all blue, it is Rhode Island FC. It is a beautiful night for soccer, 76 degrees, and we are set to go. There's the whistle, and we are underway. The second all-time meeting between Rhode Island and North Carolina. Rhode Island and North Carolina meeting earlier this season, back at the beginning of May, a 0-0 draw in Cary. It seems like these two teams are at a bit of different stages than where they were back then. Rhode Island, a league-high 10 draws. It's kept them in that playoff picture. But as we showed you in the Open, 2 straight wins, unbeaten in their last 6, just one loss, in their last 9, as Dikwa is offside. Here's what both teams need to do to build a win, presented by Go Fix It, our keys to the game.
Yep, for Rhode Island, keep finding a way to keep winning games and picking up points. As we spoke about earlier in the season, they found a way to keep getting 1 point out of games instead of losing. As they lost a lot of those games that they were tying, I think they wouldn't be in such a good position now to still be able to make the playoffs. So keep finding a way to win those games. They're getting bodies back healthy, they're getting fit, more cohesion in the team. As an expansion team, to make the playoffs in the first year is going to be a huge accomplishment. So for Rhode Island, keep finding a way. For North Carolina, as we briefly touched upon, can they improve their away from home form? So far, only winning 1 game away from home this season. That's not going to be enough to get them across the playoff line. So at some point in time, they've got to find a way to pick up points on the road. It's not necessarily needs to be the most perfect or fluid performance, but they do need to find a way to be resilient and to win games when they're away from home. And no better time to start that than tonight.
Well, it's interesting. Rhode Island has won just 1 home game. North Carolina has won just 1 road game. So either we're settling for a draw tonight or something's going to have to give.
And given where both teams are in the standings right now, Rhode Island occupying the last playoff position in 8th, North Carolina just outside in 9th. It's almost like a 6-pointer tonight. One team can jump above the other, or they can create a little bit of distance and separation between the two, which is going to come back in a few months' time when it's talking about who's making the playoffs and who's not. So I'm not sure whether the players have that in the back of their mind. We spoke briefly to Kenneth Smith and if he's been reinforcing it to his players, and he said no, not really. They're taking things 1 game at a time, and where they end up is going to be defined by how they perform on a consistent basis. But he's not putting any additional pressure onto the players based upon the standings tonight.
It's an early corner kick coming for Rhode Island. Trying to strike early tonight at home. Hit group corner kick. The in-swinger towards the near post, and they'll do it again.
He'll get a second chance. Not the best delivery there. Didn't get any height on it. Didn't get it past the first defender.
It's another hit group corner kick. A little bit more depth on this one. Bouncing around in the box and cleared away, although it was a sliced clearance. Off to the far side, and Grant Stoneman, his delivery looking for J.J. Williams, back towards goal, and it's taken by Jake McGuire. McGuire's 2nd season with North Carolina, but it's his 2nd season back with North Carolina. He was with the club in 2021. The last 2 years, he was with Miami FC. There's Colin Martin through the middle. And the 1 change into the starting lineup is Shaft Brewer. He's number 28. On the near side. North Carolina team making the jump back to the USL Championship this year. USL League One champions in 2023. This is This is played through for Koke Vegas, and Colin Martin going up against now his former San Diego teammate Koke Vegas and Grant Stoneman, who currently play for Rhode Island.
Yeah, and whilst you could say that both of these teams are expansion teams, but they're not really. North Carolina have a rich history at second division soccer in the US, although they took a little hiatus for a couple of years. They've won numerous titles, regular season and playoffs at second division in the US, and of course they've returned to the championship this year, albeit playing League One last year, but it's not a new franchise in the same way that Rhode Island are. Brand new squad, a brand new group, a brand new organization. It's a little bit different.
You know all about North Carolina, don't you?
Oh, we won regular season champions, broke a lot of records that year. I was actually watching some of the TST, and some of our former teammates were playing in that.
Oh yeah.
Akira Fitzgerald was actually also on that roster. He's on the bench tonight.
He has had quite the long career, 2011, 2016 with the Railhawks, before that with the Cary Clarets. Here comes North Carolina trying to get a shot away. It took a deflection out. A decent effort from Luis Perez. And a corner kick, the first of the night for North Carolina.
Just good pressure on the ball here. It doesn't allow him enough time to get a free shot on goal. Stoneman.
Here's Mikey Maldonado striding over to take this corner kick. Former USL League One second team player. He was with Ford Madison back in 2022. Maldonado ready to deliver the in-swinging ball. It's headed down. The player is down in the area for Rhode Island as play continues back the other way. And here's Albert Dikwa. Dikwa, the long switch, it comes off. Great first touch by Quizera. White shirts back defending as it nearly came all the way through. Washington there to get it out.
Turned out to be a great switch of play there from Dikwa. I was wondering why he stopped and came in on his right foot. There was still tons of space in front of him to keep driving with the ball, but opted to switch the point of attack. Nothing meaningful came from it, but it was a great pass at least.
Here's Fuson.
It's always impressive to see how North Carolina finds a way to stay connected to the identity of North Carolina in terms of how they play soccer. It's always a team that has the ball down on the play, on the surface, playing interchangeable, fluid soccer for decades now. It's the identity of North Carolina through and through, whether it's been the Railhawks, North Carolina FC, or the community teams. And then they've also found a way to stay connected to players that have been there. If you look on the bench, you have John Bradford, who's been in and out of the organization for the best part of 14 years. I remember when I was playing there, John was involved in various aspects. And now you have Pekka, who's been here on and off in the league, definitely second division for a long period of time. Recently retiring from playing and is now on the staff for North Carolina on the bench. So they stay connected to the people who have been good to the area over time.
Fuson coming in, Dikwa getting his head to it. Comes off to the near side, it's cleared away, and to that point, John Bradford, he joined the Academy as a coach in 2013, an assistant in 2019-2020, and then elevated to head coach now in his fourth season at the helm of North Carolina FC. It's such a great soccer community in the Triangle area in North Carolina, and I know hosting that final last year and winning it on their home field meant a lot to this whole organization.
Yeah, and I think it's always important. You're going to get the best out of an organization, players, when you have leaders who understand the culture of the region, the organization, and the history. And John Bradford definitely understands that. He's been involved in it, as I said, in many aspects for a long period of time. From a grassroots coach now to the head coach at the professional level, universities, colleges. He understands North Carolina from head to toe. So I'm sure it's a huge connection between himself and the community, the players that he brings in, and obviously the identity and culture that they have.
He was hanging out with Pep Guardiola earlier this week.
Yeah, I saw that.
Man City, a friendly against Celtic at Keenan Stadium on the University of North Carolina campus. And there was an open training at Wake Med Soccer Park. A lot of the Courage and NCFC players out watching. This runs out of play. It's a throw in to North Carolina. There's John Bradford from Winston-Salem, played in college at Furman. knows the area well, as you mentioned. Trying to cut this infield. Fuson steps in. North Carolina, though, win it back in a decent area. Colin Martin wants to keep it for North Carolina. Now Washington for Paco Craig.
Paco Craig, obviously a great signing, was the captain for Miami FC for a number of years, through some good spells, through some turbulent times, but just an all-round good leader and a good teammate.
Three-time USL first teamer, two-time USL second teamer in 3 years with Miami, 4 years with Louisville City. Minutes gone, and not a whole lot of great opportunities in this game thus far. Rhode Island maybe a few more than North Carolina. Both teams have traded a few corners. Once again, wins it back. Now Perez. Now work it around again, looking for a way forward. Zingin brought down. Free kick to North Carolina.
And you made an interesting point earlier, Josh, where you said that Rhode Island have only won one game at home. So despite their rich run of form and 19 goals in 6 games, they've only been able to win one game this season at home. So it's going to be interesting to see if they're able to turn that in line with their form right now tonight. Sometimes there can be varying factors. Normally you expect teams to be stronger at home than on the road, which is the case with North Carolina, but there can be varying factors that come in sometimes. Sometimes players feel.
This header comes in, and a bicycle kick attempt is put just wide. A couple of options in there. That was Paco Craig.
Always a big presence at set pieces. Doesn't get clean connection on the first one, but does well to react to the second one and just hooks a leg up. Wasn't far away at all.
A stray arm there, leaves a North Carolina player down, and Eric Tattersall, our referee, will stop play here. Alex Anderson is the one on the surface.
Yeah, there's definitely contact here. There's no intent there. I think it's just his natural running action, and his elbows caught him in the face.
Anderson being treated here. Let's take a look at that health report for both teams, presented by Ortho Rhode Island, the official orthopedic partner and team physicians of Rhode Island FC. Learn more at orthopedicsri.com. Unfortunately, it's a bit of a longer list for Rhode Island than Colonel Smith would maybe like to see, but no changes into the starting lineup, and he's been rolling with this team that has been in great form as of late.
Yeah, and whilst the list is still long, it was actually longer.
Yeah,
One of the things he told us is that's contributed to their uptick in form and the success they've been having recently is that they've been able to get bodies back onto the field, which has strengthened them, give them a little bit more cohesion and chemistry, and the lineup that they believed they were going to have at the start of the year, the players that they brought in to obviously strengthen it, they're now starting to get those players onto the pitch healthy and available.
Match mini plans are now available. Secure your seat to 3 of Rhode Island FC's biggest matches this season and get priority access to 2025 season tickets. Scan the QR code or go to rhodeislandfc.com now. Big rivalry match coming in just a couple of weeks against Hartford. We've already played them in Hartford. They'll get them on their home fields in a couple of weeks. That comes on August 10th as Alex Anderson comes onto the fields. But next week, a big one for Rhode Island. They'll be on network television on CBS to take on Detroit City on the road. It'll be next Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Deflected cross. McGuire out to hold on to it and prevent a corner kick. good thing about Rhode Island's home form, as we were talking about a minute ago, just 2 losses. They've drawn 6 of their 9 games on their home field. That 1 win coming against El Paso, who is the only other team without a home win this season.
And I think it actually builds into a mindset that these players have, or the team has brought into. Even if they don't win the game, they don't lose. They find a way to tie it. They still take a point out of the game, even on the days when they're not performing so well. So I think that foundation is where they've always been able to stay in the game and pick up points, irrespective of maybe not picking up as many wins as they would have liked earlier in the year, has given them a foundation or put them in a position where they can be across the playoff right now, past the midway point of the season.
It looks like a yellow card has been issued, and this is for a handball. I think this goes to Frank Nodarce for the handball. We'll see it again here. Oh, yeah.
I don't think there's any argument whether that was intentional or not in that situation. I think he has to hold his hands up there and take the card.
Former Inter Miami product, played with Fort Lauderdale CF, and that's what they were called back in 2020 and 2021. Free kick. Luis Perez, along with Mikey Maldonado, are standing over it.
It's always interesting because while teams may start in one formation, you often find that they'll switch into 2 or 3 different formations throughout the course of the game. Maybe they'll attack one way, and when they're defending, they attack in a completely different way. For North Carolina, their formation has a lot of fluidity.
Here comes the free kick, and they couldn't get it by the first man. Perez might still have something available here with everybody still forward. It's floated up towards that way. Williams got his head to it. Foot race for the loose ball, and it's won by North Carolina. Another service coming in, and it's taken by Koke Vegas, who wants to distribute quickly. Jaya Quizera. Switch of play, and Rhode Island will elect to keep it here. Ibarra gonna lift this into the corner, and too far for the run of Steven Turnbull. Rhode Island FC is now accepting priority deposits for the 2025 season at their new stadium. Scan the QR code or go to rhodeislandfc.com to secure your seat now. The man who just picked up the yellow card a few moments ago, Frank Nodarce, down on the turf.
Given Nodarce has that yellow card, it's going to be interesting if he's intentionally targeted now by North Carolina and they start to feed the ball out to the likes of Anderson, Conway, Brewer on that side of the field and take him on and force him to make tackles and free kicks, because just one poorly timed tackle and he'll be leaving the field early. So it's going to be interesting to see if they intentionally try to target that right-hand side of the field for Carolina, the left-back position or left-sided centre-back of the 3 position, to see if they can put Nodarce under a little bit more pressure.
He just lost his shoe. He'll retie it. He'll give himself an extra second or 2. Jake McGuire will put it back into play. Rhode Island team has been full of goals lately. They've scored multiple goals in 6 straight. They've scored 3 or more in 5 straight. And they're now up to the 6th most goals scored in the USL Championship with 30. This is a big task for a North Carolina team, as we talked about in the Open, that has been much better defensively, aside from just that one game against Charleston where they were down a man and conceded 5.
Yeah, you're looking at also how they're managing the game. Maguire there was looking like he was going to play it short out from the back, and he could see the high press from Rhode Island You had Williams, Dequa, Fusion, all very high, looking to press the ball aggressively. So he changed his mind, he told them to get up and he played the ball longer. I think decision making like that in certain situations and not just forcing a means of playing ignorantly has its benefits over the long term. You have to play by the problems that the opposition pose to you and not just kind of play with an ignorance or arrogance.
Throw-in coming for Rhode Island. Bit of a slow start to the season for some of the bigger name signings, the likes of Albert Dequa and JJ Williams, but they've come to life as of late. 6 goals now this season for Dequa, the Golden Boot winner last year. JJ Williams, finally a clean bill of health. A goal and 4 assists for him so far. Those are crucial players on this front line. He's also liked Noah Fuson, 4 goals, 4 assists. So everybody's starting to chip in now for this Rhode Island team.
Yeah, and Herrero spoke specifically about the relationship that him and Williams have both on and off the pitch, and it's starting to provide some dividends on the field. We saw a great assist with some build-up play where Williams was dribbling the ball. He almost backheels it with his eyes closed, and Herrero is able to receive it and bury it into the back of the net. And just that chemistry and cohesion that they're building over time is going to definitely pay a lot of dividends for this team.
Rifa Yao getting his jersey pulled, but he's able to keep possession for Rhode Island all the way back to Koke Vegas. Fields. And touchdown again. The throw-in for Rhode Island. 1 shot so far for Rhode Island. It was not on target. 2 so far for North Carolina. Williams looking to play this through. Albert Dequa comes back towards goal, and it's just wide. That would have been an own goal. Instead, it's a corner kick for Rhode Island.
You could see from the reactions, this wasn't far away at all. Williams strong, does ever so well here. Late intercepting tackle from Metzingen. And Maguire was on his toes, able to react, save his teammate a little bit of embarrassment.
It's got to be a nervy moment there for all parties.
I think he owes him a drink after the game for that one, for sure.
In swinger, coming towards that near post again. Now to the back post, the heads go up, it was blocked in front. I'm not sure the defender knew much about that. He had his back turned to it. Rhode Island will keep it. Holstad. Now Colin Martin to win it back for North Carolina. That's 2 nervy moments now for North Carolina, a matter of about a minute.
Looked like it was Nodas who had that header at the back post there. Did everything right. Got up early, a lot of power in the header, snapped his hips. I think it was just one of his teammates that got in the way that kept out the back of the net.
Here's Paco Craig charging forward for North Carolina. Shaft Brewer. Tista, a commanding header in the middle, but it was a foul. A few good chances though moments ago.
First one, this is the one that ends up being a good header, hanged up at the back post. Defenders love that. Does everything right, snaps it down, comes off the back of his own teammate. But we see the threat. Now Das poses at that back post when balls are delivered aerially from either corner kicks or from crosses.
It's a very tall team. You look at that back line, commanding figures. Rifa Yao, Frank Nodarce. And that front line, JJ Williams is good aerially.
with that kind of aerial ability, North Carolina will be have to be very careful giving away needless free kicks in and around the 18-yard box or from corner kicks and set pieces.
Cross out in front. Maybe a slight deflection on it. Not sure the referee spotted one. It's out for a goal kick. Another good build-up for Rhode Island.
Yeah, the pressure's turning on a little bit, and a lot of the success is coming from wide areas. It's not the worst ball into the box, but it's not the best either. It doesn't really give the strikers a lot of area to attack. It's probably hit with a little bit too much fizz, but you can feel the pressure starting to build now in favor of Rhode Island.
Back heel. Quick passing from Rhode Island. Holstad and Quizera. Quizera looking to turn the corner, gets end line, cuts it back, and Williams puts it wide. Would have been great build up on a goal, but just inches away.
The build-up play was brilliant. The only thing missing from this was a goal. There was intricate one-touch passing, breaking through North Carolina, a little bit of individual ability, a great picked-out passing. Williams just needs to guide that on target. It would have been up there for goal of the month, to say the least, but the one-touch build-up play was what really created the opportunity. Then it gets out to Quizera in the flanks, and he expresses himself with his 1v1 ability. And then it's just on Williams to do what he does best and put that ball into the back of the net. But great build-up play there from Rhode Island. A fantastic opportunity, probably the best opportunity of the first half.
If you're Cano Smith and you want to drop a goal, that's probably how it would go. Didn't quite work out.
And I'm sure he's encouraging his team to do it more often. You see the success that teams have when they're able to combine in one touches. It completely confuses the opponent. The speed of play is too fast to be able to adjust quickly. Then you're able to get the ball to players like Quizera, who have that 1v1 ability. They want defenders up against them 1v1 so they can take them on and express themselves. And then you have your forwards timing their runs into the box perfectly, as Williams was able to do on this occasion. He just wasn't able to guide the ball on target.
Feel the heartbeat of Rhode Island FC with RIFC Pulse. Scan the QR code or text 401-249-4857 to stay in the loop on all things Rhode Island FC with text alerts. Tico with the flick. Ibarra out wide. Quizera, who's been busy in this first half, going right at Shaft Brewer. Got around him with relative ease last time. This time, not so easy.
Quizera's been fun to watch.
Second ball, it's Holstad, and the shot is well out of play.
Quizera's been fun to watch in this opening 25 minutes. He's almost like a dying breed of wingers who pick up the ball and want to drive and take people on the outside or the inside. He can come in on the inside or go on the outside. He's been the one causing the defense for North Carolina to drop as he's picking up the ball and driving at them at speed and making things happen.
McGuire already hearing it from the supporters behind the goal.
Of course, for a long period of time, North Carolina or Railhawks boasted one of the best 1v1 attacking wingers for a long time in T. Shipolani. Gave a lot of defenders nightmares with his ability to take players on in 1v1 situations.
Here's Fuson through the middle. Again looking to deliver out wide. Turnbull making the run forward. Turnbull able to keep this in and now look in fields. It never got to Williams. And then it's taken away. Good job by North Carolina to get bodies back behind the ball. Now can they get something going back the other way? Conway trying to put one past his former San Diego teammate in goal tonight, Koke Vegas.
Yeah, North Carolina just need to settle down a little bit and just get their shape and organization. We saw they're losing individual battles defensively there in a key moment that could have been punishable had Rhode Island able to get better position of the ball. But even when they're able to win it back, they just turned it straight back over to Rhode Island. They've just got to settle down for 5 or 10 minutes, get themselves back into the game, keep possession of the ball, and then build the confidence and momentum from there.
Here's Colin Martin.
For all the praise that we gave Conway in the pre-game, we've not really heard his name mentioned in this opening 30 minutes of the game. He's not been able to get any meaningful touches or any service in the final third that's given any chance to get any sniffs on goal. But we do know that he has a hot foot, 4 goals in 4 games. If you feed him, he for sure has the capabilities of punishing and scoring goals.
Him along with Olex Anderson, the least amount of touches in this game for North Carolina with only 3. Conway, no player has more goal contributions than him since May 18th when he scored his first goal. He has 8 goal contributions. That's in the entire USL Championship. There's Conway to knot it down, and the shot's in the corner! How about another for North Carolina? It's 1-0 in Rhode Island.
It's the commentator's curse again. Just as we spoke about Conway not having his name mentioned for the opening 30 minutes, he pops up with one moment that creates this opportunity. A great little nodded down cushion headed here. And that's a great strike. Power, bravery, accuracy into the bottom corner. In a game where North Carolina haven't had too many chances on goal, they bury this one and take an unsurprising lead against the run of play.
It's Maldonado's 3rd goal of the season. It is his first goal since May 25th, which just so happens to be the only other road win this year for North Carolina. Are the stars aligning once again? Evan Conway gets an assist for North Carolina. It is his 2nd assist, and he continues to contribute to goals for this North Carolina attack. They have not had much in this game. They find that one moment, and they make him pay.
And it was just a little cushion header down just to leave it in the path of Maldonado to come on and strike first time. And take nothing away, it's not the easiest skill when you're coming forward at that speed to get good connection and accuracy on the ball. And Maldonado does exactly that and punishes Rhode Island with one of the few chances that they've had in this opening 30 minutes.
Olex Anderson is down, but play continues on. Batista. Here's Dikwa battling with Batista again, who puts it out of play. Anderson back to his feet. Olstad, Fuson. Going back to our keys, he said score first. Now, check mark.
And this is why it's key for them, because in their past 11 games, the defense has become a little bit more resilient, a little bit stronger. If you take away that freak game where they conceded 5, they've conceded 10 in their past 11 games. But in one game, they conceded 5. So if you elicit that game, they've conceded 5 in their past 11. So the defense has got a little bit stronger in the past 11 games. So the ability to score the first goal and then defend well.
This is turned over and trying to play it ahead for Dikwa. McGuire steps in.
The ability to score the first goal and defend well, it gives them a foundation and platform to be able to control and manage the tempo of game. They're away from home now. They can slow things down a little bit and control the speed of play, and I think that's going to give them an advantage. If they were to concede first, then of course you're chasing, you have to open up, you're then leaving holes and pockets where you can be exploited on the counter-attack, and we know that this Rhode Island attack with Williams, Fuson, Dikwa has a lot of weapons and tools where they can exploit you if you leave spaces and gaps. So now, with North Carolina having the lead, you anticipate that they can stay a little bit more tight, a little bit more compact and organized, and pick their moments to go forward and attack.
North Carolina 4 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws when they score first. Rhode Island has yet to win a game when they concede the first goal, 0-2-2.
And I think we have to, the goal was against the run of play. The pressure was building in favor for Rhode Island. kind of just a sucker punch out of nowhere. After we spoke about Conway not really having much influence in the opening 30 minutes, he comes up with a moment that has proven to be critical and separates these two teams at this moment.
Rhode Island has been full of goals. We'll see if they can get back into this game on their home field. Tattersall wanted a quick word there with Lamar Batista.
If there's one thing we should expect, though, in this game, it's goals. We spoke about the form of Rhode Island, 19 goals in 6 games. It would be a huge accomplishment if North Carolina were able to keep a clean sheet tonight, but given at the rate this Rhode Island team has been scoring, for the neutral fan, you can expect this to be a very exciting remaining first half and upcoming second half.
Here's Dequa. Dequa goes down. Nothing there from the referee. Williams running with him. Just couldn't connect.
It's a great run from Dequa. The run comes first, and obviously the pass is played because of Dequa's movement. Can he be stronger and stay on his feet? I think so, but I think he also has a claim in that situation. He gets to the ball first, and the pressure comes from the defender from behind. He does go down, and we've seen them given. I wouldn't question the referee had he given it in that situation.
Perez, some room to run and play it down the line. Rafa Menzingen.
And if you just look tactically, look where Maldonado is positioned. He's the left-sided central midfielder, defending central midfielder. So for him to get all the way up into the attacking third on the right-hand side, to get onto Conway's knockdown header, he covered a lot of ground and anticipated and made that run from a position where he's not the closest player to Conway more often than not. Just maybe had a little bit of instinct, or just felt like that was the moment for him to make that movement and got the rewards of it.
Maldonado. Perez. Stepping in was Turnbull to win it back, and Rhode Island can look upfield. Ibarra. Turnbull again. So white shirts get back behind the ball. Washington steps in.
North Carolina just doing a good job now of getting their shape, all 11 players back behind the ball and allowing Rhode Island to have the possession, but it's being moved in a way where it can't really hurt them right now. The moments when Rhode Island were hurting them earlier was when the ball was moving quickly and players were connecting in one touch, and then they were fizzing it out to the left-hand side and isolating players 1v1. Quizera.
Fuson is touched away by Paco Craig. It's kept in play. North Carolina trying to work their way down the line.
And that's why I spoke about the importance of North Carolina getting that first goal, is that now they know that they don't need to push us off. They can have these moments where they drop and keep their shape and stay compact and allow the defenders for Rhode Island to have the ball. If they go pressing and leaving spaces, that's when Rhode Island are going to open them up and take advantage of them. So now, knowing that they have that opening goal and the go-ahead goal, they're able to manage the game despite not having possession of the ball.
It's something that's maybe lost just talking about possession. You don't have to have the ball to have control of the game.
And to dictate the tempo of the game or where the ball goes. Sometimes a very good defensive unit can dictate the game despite not having the ball. Because when Rhode Island have the ball, they're like, if they trained it, they're happy to allow them to have it in certain situations or in certain positions, or to even allow certain players to have the ball because they just don't feel that they pose any attacking threat.
Every time Rhode Island tries to come forward, you just see all the white shirts back defending. Barra. Maldonado doing just enough to jar it loose momentarily. Barra gets it back, finds Holstad.
I would say there's still a long time to play for North Carolina just to try to sit in and defend. They still need to play on the front foot and try to get that second goal, because Quizera, Dequa, Williams, very, very good offensive players. It's a team that scored 19 goals in 6 games. I don't anticipate them going 90 minutes tonight without putting the ball into the back of net at least once.
Last week they played pretty much 85 minutes or plus stoppage time, down a man. Holstad tries his luck at goal. Got the goal early, but unfortunately in the end, a stoppage time equalizer from Detroit City stole a result in Cary. North Carolina forced to settle for just a draw.
Dropping a very low block right now in North Carolina. Come on, let's go. But this is what having that go-ahead goal allows you to do. Now you relieve a little bit of pressure and you force Rhode Island to bring it to you.
Holstad quite on the same page with J.J. Williams.
Yeah, tried to feed the pass there, but I thought he had enough time and space to gamble on his own ability, trust himself and take a shot from distance. Conway
Driving in fields and playing it into the path of Rafa Mensigan. Mensigan trying to cut it in field. He was taken off the ball by Turnbull.
Good defending there from Turnbull. Patient, picked the right moment there to use his body, win back possession of the ball.
Batista. Again, room to move forward. Perez will try his luck, and nothing doing. 3 minutes ago, decent chance coming, and Dequa going down in the box.
Yeah, it's Fusen who played the ball in behind, and you can see Dequa's run. He demands the ball with his movement. You can see that he does go down. It is actually more shoulder to shoulder than shoulder to back, but he goes down in a way where it makes the referee question, or at least second guess the decision. He wasn't really going to have any advantage in keeping possession in that moment, so he thought he would try and see if he could win the penalty. I wouldn't say it was bad sportsmanship. I wouldn't say it was a bad decision. I'd say it's just taking a gamble.
Sure. This cross is skied out of play. 3-match mini plans are now available. Secure your seat to 3 of Rhode Island FC's biggest matches this season and get priority access to 2025 season tickets. Scan the QR code or go to rhodeislandfc.com now. Fuson wins it back in the middle. Ibarra, last few minutes before halftime. Colin Martin. Patient in the middle, waiting for some options to open up. North Carolina trying to keep it. Batista able to do so. As things stand in the Eastern Conference right now, North Carolina and Rhode Island would switch spots. North Carolina would move into that 8th spot, Rhode Island into 9th. Still a long way to go tonight here at Byrne Stadium. Conway dispossessed. Ibarra. All right, FC Family 4-pack is now available. 4 tickets, 4 dogs, 4 drinks, and 4 times the fun for just $20 a person. Visit RhodeIslandFC.com/tickets to learn more. Final minute of the first half. Mikey Maldonado's goal at the half-hour mark is the difference. Zera, Busan, Nodarse.
We spoke about where North Carolina have improved in their past 10 games, and defensively is definitely one of those areas. We spoke about how hot this Rhode Island attack has been in and the goals they've been scoring, and Carolina tonight are able to keep them with 0 shots on target in this opening 45 minutes, which in itself is a little small win. And sometimes the big wins come by getting those little wins, and not allowing Rhode Island to get any shots on target for 45 minutes, given the form there is, you have to view that as a little win. For Rhode Island, they have to view it with the players that they have, the quality that they have. They have to find a way to test the goalkeeper. 45 minutes at home without a shot on target is not the standard that Cano Smith will be expecting from you, and it's not how they've been performing recently. So I imagine there'll be some tweaks and changes at half-time that will make them a little bit more aggressive offensively.
We are into 2 minutes of stoppage time. Okay, Vegas.
2 additional minutes.
And the flag is up for offside.
But it's been a while since we've mentioned Quizera out on this left-hand side taking players on. And it's been a while again since we've seen that intricate one-touch passing that we saw within the opening 30 minutes of the half. So I think that, on the other hand, Rhode Island got to get back to what was bringing them success earlier in the game, allowing them to cut through North Carolina. It was moving the ball quickly in the least amount of touches possible, and Quizera having his moment of magic, and Decoy with his runs in behind. It was breaking them down whilst they weren't getting goal-scoring opportunities or shots on target from it. It was providing an attacking threat.
Remember, Williams missing just wide of the post on one of the better build-ups tonight. As Anderson comes back the other way, it comes in. Colin Martin had his shot blocked. A decent chance for North Carolina again against the run of play. As Rhode Island looked to counter, Batista got his head to it.
Brilliant defending there from Batista. Reads the flight of the ball, wins it, and not just wins it, he's able to keep his team in possession and kick-start the attack.
This was that last opportunity.
It's a great block there from Stoneman. I think mentioned his name a few times in this first half in regards to blocks and tackles.
Here comes North Carolina again. Couldn't connect with Conway. To be the last action of this first half.
There's a few moments when Rhode Island do win the ball, and North Carolina are very expansive. They've put a lot of bodies forward when they're attacking. There's moments when Rhode Island win the ball and the opportunity to transition to attack is right there, but they play shorter passes and take their time rather than looking for that killer pass immediately. With the likes of Decoy and Quizera, the earlier they're able to get them on the ball, especially into wide areas or in space where they can use their individual ability, is going to reap rewards for this Rhode Island attacking lineup.
Everyone back.
Looks like they're going to try a long throw in here.
He doesn't have much space to get a long run up.
I think he's going to try a little banana route, if you will.
Go gadget arms.
Yeah.
We spoke about the aerial threat that Rhode Island possessed from set pieces.
Olstad, good depth on it. Batista was up to meet it. Another chance to lift it, but it's out of play. That should pretty much take us to halftime.
With that kind of distance on his throw-ins, Olstad. Attacking throw-ins for Rhode Island are almost going to be like set pieces. He's able to deliver the ball as far as into the box as some players are with their crosses.
Well, we have reached the break here from Burns Stadium in Rhode Island, and right now it's North Carolina with the lead at the break. A crucial matchup in the playoff picture, but North Carolina just finding that one moment.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. They're away from home. Can they find a way to pick up road wins? It's massive for them. Right now, they're just outside of the playoffs. A win tonight is much needed.
We're at the break. It's Rhode Island 0 and North Carolina 1. Stay with us.
Hey, thanks for the backup.
When you make your play and things just go your way, that's a good play.
Since 1974, the Rhode Island Lottery has been a good play, awarding more than $57 billion to winning players, over $6 billion in commissions to local businesses, and over $8.8 billion to the general fund, supporting all of Rhode Island.
It's a really good play that can make your day.
The Rhode Island Lottery, a good play for Rhode Island for 50 years and counting.
At Ortho Rhode Island, we've built the future of orthopedic care around an important foundation, you. Our experienced surgeons and specialists offer the full spectrum of orthopedic care with leading-edge treatments and technology and a one-of-a-kind patient experience. From diagnosis to outpatient surgery, physical and occupational therapy, acute injury care, and advanced imaging, we make you the cornerstone of innovative care. To learn more or schedule an appointment, visit orthopedicsri.com.
At Centerville Bank, we're rooting for your progress. From the everyday moments to the challenges you overcome, the little victories, and the big wins. Because your progress is our purpose. Centerville Bank, progress on purpose.
It is both. It is both. It is both. It is both. It's both. Hey, thanks for the backup.
Halftime from Byrne Stadium in Rhode Island, and right now the home side trying to play from behind as North Carolina have the lone goal in the first half. Well, these fans are winners of this seriously nice seat upgrade presented by Breeze Airways. Every match, 4 lucky fans are provided a premium match day experience courtesy of Breeze Airways, a proud partner of Rhode Island FC. And a family enjoying it pitchside tonight, and maybe they'll be enjoying it pitchside next year at Tidewater Landing.
Dedicated Rhode Island FC fans and partners, thank you for joining us today to celebrate the final piece of structural steel being raised at the stadium at Tidewater Landing.
Stadiums, at their core, are gathering places. They bring communities together around a shared experience. These stadiums become a part of community, and the teams they host become a reflection of the community's culture and values.
Tidewater represents one of the largest and most significant private investments in our state's history.
This is the single largest private development investment in Rhode Island since the Industrial Revolution.
The Tidewater facility here is going to be second to none. It's going to be a premier gateway, a destination of Rhode Island, and a destination of Pawtucket.
This stadium, to me, will make us and take us to be one of the elite clubs and teams in our league, and hopefully a place that opponents hate to come. It's going to be windy, it's going to be breezy, it's going to be cold. We're going to be prepared for it. They're not.
All right, FC.
Every single person here, whether you're involved in the project, here supporting soccer, here supporting Pawtucket, here supporting the openness of the riverfront, thank you. There are great things happening under the great leadership that you've heard here.
There's been a lot of doubters for this project. I won't mention names. There's been somebody that stopped me in public at the airport like, hey, coach, you know that stadium's not going to get built, right? I'm like, pretty sure I was there 2 weeks ago.
Is it somebody's birthday? Dad, come watch us hit this ugly piñata. Dad!
When Hornets show up, so do we. Terminix it.
They're hungry for the women's game. They want to see women's soccer. They want to play women's soccer, and that's what we're building at the USL.
You can see it in my eyes, only want the best. Running every night, won't settle for less. Got me looking to the sky, got me feeling blessed. Got this fire burning up inside of my chest. Burning up inside of my chest. Got this fire burning up inside of my chest.
The best nights start with Jägermeister. Made with 56 botanicals. Always served ice cold.
Take a miracle to come back from this. Heartbreaking end to the season. But what's this?
For the moments when anticipation
Clock's counting down. 5 seconds. 3, 2,
becomes celebration. Jägermeister. Meister the moment.
Touchdown by Rodriguez. Going for goal. It's Morris, and it's in! Detroit City's ahead.
And a bit of space as well. He'll have a go from distance. Oh, what a
When mosquitoes show up, so do we. Terminix it.
It's more than a game. It's more than a rivalry. It's a derby. Your Rhode Island FC versus Hartford Athletic. Come on, Rhode Island. Let's show up for our team and bring that Rhode Island energy. Let's sell out Smithfield. Tickets start at just $17. Be there. August 10th, 7:30 p.m., Bryant University.
Halftime from Rhode Island. It's 1-0 in favor of North Carolina. Mikey Maldonado's goal is the difference at the break. The USL Summer of Soccer in full swing. It continues on Wednesday. It'll be Hartford against Detroit, and then the big game on Saturday, Detroit City against Rhode Island FC. That game will be at 4 p.m. Eastern on CBS Broadcast Network. A few more games to go around this month, a couple on CBS Sports Network, and 2 more on ESPN2 as we get into the month of August. The standings in the Eastern Conference. We mentioned how important this game was tonight, and these aren't live. This is coming into the night, but these two teams would switch spots if the result holds.
Yeah, and as you can see, North Carolina would jump above Rhode Island if the score was to end as it is right now. However, there's still 45 minutes to play, but you can be mindful that the players in the locker rooms at halftime are fully mindful of this. So it's going to be interesting to see how they come out in the second half. It's important that North Carolina don't come out and try to defend for 45 minutes. A 1-0 goal is not going to be enough. Rhode Island, you're expecting them to come out aggressive, fierce, and with purpose going into this second half.
Pittsburgh and Loudoun also tied at 1. The team of the week, Zach Harivo, was the player of the week, a player we might see in the second half.
Yeah, I anticipate at some point he's going to come into this game and hopefully have a big impact, but he had a fantastic week last week and was rightfully in team of the week. Let's see if he can continue that rich vein of form tonight when he gets his opportunity.
Well, plenty of good performances. Let's check out the goal and save of the week from last week.
Driven wide, clips the ball in left footed. Can they turn it to back out? Oh my God! Oh, that is magical! Philip Goodrum, the former Memphis Niner, what a key man!
Massive collision midfield, play on, ball all the way through. Reno! Oh, wow! Jamali Wade to the rescue!
Hey Providence, we're Breeze Airways, and we offer non-stop flights from Rhode Island's T.F. Green International Airport. We're redefining what it means to fly up front. This one's for you. Introducing Breeze Ascent, the newest, nicest way to fly. It's seriously comfortable, satisfying, and affordable. Book today at flybreeze.com and experience the nicest way to travel. Breeze Airways, seriously nice.
At Ortho Rhode Island, we've built the future of orthopedic care around an important foundation, you. Our experienced surgeons and specialists offer the full spectrum of orthopedic care with leading-edge treatments and technology and a one-of-a-kind patient experience. From diagnosis to outpatient surgery, physical and occupational therapy, acute injury care, and advanced imaging, we make you the cornerstone of innovative care. To learn more or schedule an appointment, visit orthopedicsri.com.
At Centerville Bank, we're rooting for your progress. From the everyday moments to the challenges you overcome, the little victories, and the big wins. Because your progress is our purpose. Centerville Bank, progress on purpose.
When you make your play and things just go your way, that's a good play.
Since 1974, the Rhode Island Lottery has been a good play, awarding more than $57 billion to winning players, over $6 billion in commissions to local businesses, and over $8.8 billion to the general fund, supporting all of Rhode Island.
It's a really good play that can make your day.
The Rhode Island Lottery, a good play for Rhode Island for 50 years and counting.
Halftime from Rhode Island, it's North Carolina who leads this one by 1-0. And we'll see if there is a comeback in the cards in the second half, which we are getting close to. But first, let's look back at the first 45 minutes with our halftime highlights. It was Rhode Island on the front foot in this game, and we'll start things off in the 12th minute. But it was a decent chance for North Carolina.
Yeah, Paco Craig here just with the instinctive attempt on goal. Doesn't get a good connection in the first, but as he's dropping down, just flings a leg up, see if he can get that bicycle kick just wide of the target.
22nd minute, and this was when it really started to get going in this game for Rhode Island.
Yeah, we started to see glimpses from Dequa, from Quizera, and this was Mensingen almost with an own goal. Maguire on his balls of his feet reacts well to tip this away. Would have been some own goal had that gone in.
Everybody scrambling. Just a few seconds later, a decent recycle off the set piece, and this is a big deflection.
Yeah, no, Das does everything right. Leaps like a salmon at the back post, snaps it, heading directly into the side netting, but either his own teammate or defender does very well to block it and get it away from goal.
And then maybe some of the best build-up of the night, but just wide.
Yeah, in the build-up to this intricate one-touch passing, Quizera isolated, completely destroys his man 1v1. Great pass into the box, and Williams just needed to open his hips a little bit more and guide it into the back of the net, but misses the frame.
And this was the moment. It kind of came out of nothing, but Mikey Maldonado, that's a clinical finish.
Yeah, we were just speaking about how Conway had been a little bit quiet in that opening 30 minutes, and then he comes up with this moment, a lovely cushion header, and Maldonado arrives at the right time, volleys it into the back of the net, driven into the corner, gives his team the 1-0 lead.
On the lone goal in the first half, there were no goals when they met back in May, but no shots on target, and it's got to be driving Cano Smith crazy.
Yeah, defensively, you have to give North Carolina credit. Maybe North Carolina have been good defensively. Maybe Rhode Island need to be a little bit better offensively in the final third, but 0 shots on target for Rhode Island in the opening 45 minutes. North Carolina, just 1 shot on target, and that's what separates these two teams, is that opportunity that was ended up in the back of the net. But you can see Rhode Island have had a significant amount of possession, and North Carolina have dropped off a little bit and allowed the centre-backs and the defensive midfielders to have the ball a little bit more than they did earlier in the game as they have that 1-goal lead. And that's why we spoke about it being so important for them to get that first goal, so that they can essentially try to control the game without having as much of possession of the ball as they may like.
The team's making their way back out to the field. This is a Rhode Island team that has scored multiple goals in 6 straight. They've scored 3 or more in 5 straight. The 6th most goals in the USL Championship, but right now they are struggling to even find the target of goal. They have 45 minutes to try to turn it around. 1 sub to tell you about at halftime for North Carolina. It will see Raheem Somersault come on to replace Louis Perez. Somersault maybe a bit more defensively minded than Perez, if that tells you anything about what John Bradford thinks about this second half.
Yeah, and you're expecting to see a response from Rhode Island in this second half. They know what's at stake, whether they discuss it or not, whether the pressure is on them or not. They know at the end of this game, they want to be securely in the playoff positions with a little bit of distance between them and North Carolina. They know right now they've not been able to get that job done, so they know that they've got to be a little bit more aggressive, have to be more intense, have to have a little bit more composure in that final third, but they have to keep creating chances.
The second half is underway, an early whistle, and it leaves the player on the turf for North Carolina.
I know we said we expected a response and they needed to come out intense.
That's intense right from the opening whistle.
Williams definitely set the tone 10 seconds into the first half, and he's laid one of the North Carolina defenders flat on his back. But it's a statement of the mentality and the approach that they're going to have in this second half. They're not going to drop back and sit off whatsoever. They've got to be driving the intensity and the tempo and the speed of play.
Here's Stoneman as they look to start from the back, Rhode Island. Okay, Vegas, we saw this a lot in his past with San Diego, almost stepping onto that back line and playing as an extra defender to start the build-up.
Yeah, that allows them to get the fullbacks high and wide and really try to pin North Carolina back. North Carolina obviously have a similar style when they're building up with three at the back, but when they're defending, those wide players drop back to give them a little bit more stability, which sometimes it can look like a back five.
Here's Albert Dikwa in an offside position. Very close there. The North Carolina players are asking for that flag right away.
Yeah, Dikwa plays on the edge and his movement's very smart. He makes runs across the defensive line. And you can see, even though he's offside, there's no defender close to him or reading his movement. Like a couple of inches more and he's onside. He has so much time and space to get that ball down and finish. But this all comes from his movement as the play is building up.
Batista. Nothing on there for North Carolina.
Rhode Island, they have a choice to make here, whether they choose to be a little bit more aggressive when they're pressing. Right now, they're leaving Washington when he has possession of the ball as the center of those three defenders at the back, and more so putting pressure on Batista and Craig when they have it. But maybe they can release Fusion a little bit higher and allow him to go man-to-man up against Washington and try to win that ball higher up.
Chipped forward, it's too close to Jake McGuire, who holds on. Just 2 losses in league play for North Carolina since the start of May. 4-2-5 over that span, which has really gotten them back into the playoff picture. They were towards the bottom of the Eastern Conference early on, but they have really turned it around. And it's been sparked, as we've talked about, through this defense. There's only 2 losses coming against the top 2 teams in the entire USL. That is Charleston and Louisville. So it's not just them that are losing to those 2 teams. Those teams have been in great form so far this season. Somersault. And zinging down the line for Anderson. Anderson just able to keep it in play. Can he keep his balance? He lays it off. Oh my, Colin Martin, he slipped and he skies the shot out of play.
Great work there from Anderson. He has 2 players on him, uses his body to protect it, beats both of them with skill and speed. A brilliant left, picks up his head to actually find Martin. And Martin just loses his foot at a key moment. Brilliant opportunity here to give North Carolina the 2-0 lead and just loses his composure. He tries to strike that ball with a lot of power. When opting for a little bit of placement and finesse, probably would have been a little bit more effective. Brilliant opportunity there for North Carolina to take the lead. Gone wasted.
He's not a big-time goal scorer, Colin Martin, more of a defensive-minded midfielder, but he's found himself in a couple of good scoring positions tonight.
Opportunity there for North Carolina to extend their lead, sorry to say. They already have the lead.
30th minute goal from Mikey Maldonado. Somersault. There's Colin Martin. And he wins North Carolina a corner kick.
A little bit counter to what we expected. We expected Rhode Island to be the ones coming out, dictating the tempo of play, having the possession, and creating goal scoring opportunities. But it's been North Carolina who've been that team that's come out in the second half, going to get that second goal, and they're going to need that second goal. They had the opportunity there for Martin to actually get it very early in the second half. He was unable to convert, but we were expecting the aggressive team in the beginning of the second half to be Rhode Island.
Maldonado ready to deliver. It comes all the way through. I'm not sure anybody got a touch on that. Once again, back for McGuire. North Carolina can reset. Seven clean sheets this year for North Carolina, tied for 4th most in the USL. And now Charleston is leading that category.
This is the conundrum. If Fuson goes higher and presses Washington, it then leaves Maldonado as the pivot 6 alone, and somebody from behind has to step up to then pick him up. If nobody does, then he's able to be that player they can use to get out freely. So it just needs 1 or 2 players to step on a little bit higher if they choose to press a little bit more aggressively in that aspect.
Here's Conway. Good job to be patient and keep the ball from North Carolina here. 7 minutes into this second half. Martin. Singin cutting it in, couldn't connect with Anderson. And cleared away as far as Dequa, who couldn't keep it. Now it's Rhode Island chasing this game.
Yeah, there was good extended build up there from Carolina. Ended up being a great through pass.
Played through, it's Anderson. Olex Anderson, tough angle. It's headed down by Yao and cleared away.
Again, that started from a great pass forward from Maldonado. I think Anderson's touch just took him away from goal a little bit, where the angle got a little bit tighter and is unable to convert. But some good possession here from North Carolina, resulting in opportunities and definitely entries into the box. Just lacking that killer instinct.
Seems like North Carolina is more likely to score the next goal in this game than Rhode Island, and something Rhode Island cannot afford to have. Go over the top for Fuson. Trying to get end line. Quizera was pinballing around, and last off, wing back for Rhode Island.
Yeah, he doesn't win the corner kick or get the delivery, but they got to keep feeding him. He's the biggest threat when he gets the ball 1v1, and he will make things happen. If the more they feed him, the more opportunities they're going to create. They're having to double up now. You're seeing 2 players go out there to deal with him, because 1v1, Brewer's not been able to handle Quizera when he's been 1v1. So if you're Rhode Island, keep feeding the ball, and now when they do get this balance, because now they try to overload and double up on Quizera, then the spaces are going to open up for Williams and for Dequa and for Fusion on more central areas on the other side of the field.
3-match mini plans are now available. Secure your seat to 3 of Rhode Island FC's biggest matches this season and get priority access to 2025 season tickets. As the cross comes in, Dequa Got his head to it, he couldn't steer it towards goal, and it's out for a goal kick.
Yeah, the cross was just a little bit too high. You had visions of him controlling that on his chest and then volleying into the back of the net, but it was just a little bit too high for him to get it down.
Martin progressing. Rolling out of play, throw in for Rhode Island. Just trying to get a bit of momentum going in this second half.
Yeah, you can hear the instructions coming from the touchline of stepping higher and getting the pressure on the ball higher up the field rather than allowing North Carolina to advance the ball under no pressure.
Headed forward by Turnbull. Connect with Fuson. Turnbull goes down. He's going to get the foul here. It will be against Rhode Island. Sends Somersault to the turf.
Yeah, it was good pressure from Ibarra. The first pressure was good. It was the second pressure from Turnbull. Doesn't really get any good connection on the ball and lands a little bit on Somersault's head.
He was already stumbling and had extra on a push. Kept him down. Another game of note for teams around the playoff line. Loudoun and Pittsburgh 1-1 right now. Is just about over in Pittsburgh. As things stand in this game, North Carolina would be jumping into the top 8. Rhode Island would be exiting for now. Free kick coming for North Carolina. Remember, next week, Rhode Island, a big game against Detroit. That will be on the road, 4 p.m. Eastern time. A little bit of an earlier kickoff on Saturday because it'll be on CBS. Not want to miss that one. First time Rhode Island gets to experience Keyworth Stadium. Deflected out wide. This might work out for North Carolina, but Shap Brewer just couldn't continue on. Turnbull. Down the line for Fuson. Fuson, a first-time cross. Dealt with in the middle. Bryce Washington, and now Raheem Somersault. Shoulder to shoulder with Holstad. And Holstad wins the battle.
Good defending there from Holstad. Reads the defender, closes down the space well. Puts enough pressure for Rhode Island to win back possession of the ball.
Play this into the corner. Albert Dequa's onto it. Dequa into throw-in. Stoppage and time for subs. And this is the sub that we were expecting. Zach Harivo will enter. Brookline, Massachusetts native. Transferred to Rhode Island from Tampa Bay back on July 3rd, earns his 4th appearance for Rhode Island. He replaces Mark Ibarra, and remember, he's coming off that brace against Birmingham.
Yeah, a player that obviously adds to the offense. As you mentioned, getting a brace, being currently in very hot form.
Fuson just looking to send it through and take it by McGuire. Hervo familiar with Cano Smith from his time at Birmingham. Also time with San Antonio and New England. USL Championship Player of the Week, Zach Hervo. It's a great way to come into a new club, make a positive impact, score a couple of goals against your former club. Broken up in the middle. Give and go. Conway on the chase. Couldn't get back on the end of it. Now no Darce.
I think midfield is the area where Rhode Island can step it up a little bit in this game. It's those areas there where they need to do a little bit better. You have Maldonado and you have Martin sitting in front of that North Carolina defense, and this is where they can do a better job. If you can get Herval putting pressure on those guys or getting a little bit closer to Fuson and Williams and Dequa when Rhode Island have possession of the ball, I think that's the area where they can turn around and hurt them. But I think so far the midfielders are just a little bit far off North Carolina's and allowing them a little bit too much time and space in the center of the park. And Fuson's not getting enough support up to him quick enough to pose a threat.
Front line has been quiet in this second half. Fuson, Dequa, Williams.
You can already see though, Heravo's already making runs in behind, a little bit more present in the attacking third in those central number 10 areas. Holstead doing a little bit more of the defensive work and sitting a little bit.
Turnbull. And forced to lay it off. In for Turnbull. He continued his run from his right wing back position. Center runs through for Jake McGuire.
Yeah, I think he needs to just play the give and go with Prezera there. Just feed it into him, give it back to him. He's facing forward. He can already see where the danger is or where he can break that defensive line.
Miller Lite 2-packs are now on sale. Bring a friend, crack open a cold Miller Lite, and enjoy Rhode Island's professional soccer team for just $25 per person. Visit RhodeIslandFC.com/tickets to learn more. And Eric Tattersall would like a word here. Donano and Jose Quizera getting a stern talking to here from the referee. Floated forward off the chest of Williams. Heravo. Some decent options on the bench for Rhode Island. They cannot find a goal here. Connor McGlynn, Mark Doyle, Isaac Anking could all be options. Smith goes to. This is a foul, and it'll be against Rhode Island.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the foul is there. There's no players tight enough to Brewer to cause the free kick, let alone the foul. He's facing his own goal. I think he trips over himself in this situation. It'll be interesting to see it back, what contact there is.
The old turf monster, Chris.
There's no turf there. There's not. That should have been Rhode Island going on the counter-attack while Brewers pick himself up off the floor. I'm not sure what the referee's seen there that warrants him to call a free kick, let alone go into his book and give a yellow card. I think he's got that one wrong big time.
I would tend to agree with you on that one.
And it was a great opportunity there for Quizera to pick up the ball and quickly turn that into a goal-scoring opportunity. He's end up conceding a free kick and getting booked.
Quite the 180 there for Quizera. He has not gone Rhode Island's way tonight. Alex Anderson, no foul there, a throw-in for Rhode Island.
They're building through. Rhode Island have to find a way to get Herivo and Holstad on the ball in areas where they can turn and face forward. Right now the centre backs are looking for them, but they're only finding them in pockets where they can either play it back to them or they're trying to bypass them.
Stoneman. Quizera trying to find a burst through the middle. Good challenge put in.
It doesn't come off, but I like the intent from Quizera. He's trying to drop deeper, pick up in pockets where he can turn and be offensive and face forward.
From Menzingen, coming in fields. Sliding challenge by Herivo.
Great tackle there from Herivo.
Fuson, another time going to ground by Rafa Menzingen. Remember, Rhode Island just one home win this year. North Carolina, one road win this year. Mikey Maldonado scored in that lone road win against Miami. He has the lone goal tonight.
And of course, both of these teams looking for a change in their fortunes. North Carolina looking to pick up points on the road. Rhode Island looking to pick up more points at home.
6 draws at home. They have a league-high 10 draws. And as we were talking about earlier, that's what's kept them in this season. They've turned some losses into draws. Now it's time to do draws into wins. That's kind of the next step.
Yeah, and you anticipate that they'll get a goal sometime between now and the end of the game. The question is, will they be able to go ahead and get 2?
This has been one of the more potent attacks in the USL Championship as of late. Multiple goals in 6 straight games. Over that stretch, they are unbeaten. 4 wins, 2 draws.
Yeah, and the important thing is that good things take time to build, and you can see Cano Smith has done a good job of building over time, because as the season's gone on, Rhode Island have continued to get better and improve, as you would expect. But they still need that time to build that cohesion, that chemistry, to kind of embed themselves, to build that platform and foundation for long-term success as well. But you've definitely seen improvements in the performances and the results. In the individual performances, both of the team and the group collectively.
North Carolina able to get this out again. Okay, Vegas almost at midfield, has to be careful, and he is. Stoneman. Chested down, J.J. Williams. Williams, great touch, Williams saved! First save of the game for Jake McGuire, and he pushes it out of play.
Williams does ever so well here. For a big man, he's got some very fancy footwork. Great layoff here with the chest, does excellent, great first touch, fakes the shot with the hips, drills it with his left foot. McGuire comes up absolutely massive at a moment when he was very much needed, but brilliant work there from Williams.
A corner kick presented by Hilb Group. Mark Doyle entering this game for Stephen Turnbull. Attack-minded sub from Cano Smith. Now the corner kick. Nearly found Doyle. That sub comes with 20 minutes to go. Doyle, 1 goal this year. The 25-year-olds from Dublin. Quizera getting end line. There should be another corner kick, and it is. They play it quick and short. Holstad, he can hit it from distance, and it's just wide.
Quick corner kick from Quizera to Holstead, and you can see from Maguire's reaction in goal, wasn't far away at all. Gets it out his feet with his first touch, probably a little bit behind him and tries to whip it into the far corner. But you could see Maguire was worried by the way he reacted in goal. Scurries across, whiskers wide of the upright.
Jake Maguire being given a warning here for time wasting. Alex Anderson couldn't keep his feet. Here's Doyle, and he's ripped back. Pretty easy decision here from the referee, and a yellow card to Shaft Brewer Jr.
Yeah, I think no questions about this whatsoever. Great footwork, absolutely rips him, drives past him, and he pulls him back to stop play, allow North Carolina to get all 11 players back behind the wall. But Brewer's the man who's been isolated up against Quizera. 1v1 many times in this game, and this is where, if Rhode Island are smart, they really force the issue now and get Quizera 1v1 against Brewer time after time again in these remaining 20 minutes.
Okay, Vegas comfortable being about 40 or 50 yards away from goal. Out wide, touch down the line for Dequa. Quizera, Doyle, in for Dequa, the return for Doyle. Holstad. Headed away, but kept in play. Stoneman deflected off the crossbar, and Doyle scores! The equalizer for Rhode Island, and they are back in it!
And whilst we don't have any replays of this right now, you can replay in your mind. The best moments for Rhode Island so far in this game have been when they've been able to connect one-touch passes and completely disorganize North Carolina in the center of the field by moving the ball quickly. And this is what happens again in this situation. One-touch passes create the opportunity. The shot takes a wicked deflection, but Doyle does what every good attacker does and anticipates, follows it up, and gets an easy header into the back of the net to bring things level. We told you that Rhode Island would get a goal in this game, and they've done exactly that. The question mark is, can they go on and get two and get that home win that they've been much wanting for many games this season? For North Carolina, poses the opposite question. They've not won many games away from home this season. Now find themselves tied. Do they take the mentality that a point's good, or do they start to open up, become expansive again, and go for that second goal? Questions for both teams.
Second goal of the season for Mark Doyle. It felt like it was going to come at some point for Rhode Island. It's just whether they could finally break through as Colin Martin is fouled.
And Doyle was the right substitution at the right time. He's come in with a resurgence of energy and positivity and purpose, closing players down, making things happen, driving. In the short time that he's been on the field, he's been a little bubble of energy that's given this team a much-needed uplift. And it's not a surprise that he's the one that's gone and got the equalising goal.
Colin Martin lifting it in, the header away by Doyle.
That goal's just opened things up for a really exciting final 20 minutes of this game.
This is such an important game in the complexion of this season for both teams. Right around the playoff line. It was North Carolina who came in 9th spot, Rhode Island in 8th, as Fuson is fouled. It just tells you everything you need to know. 2 points separating the two as well.
Yeah, you can see the little tactical tweaks that have happened. You see Fuson tracking back and defending here in the fullback position. He's been predominantly the central focal point as the number 9 for vast periods of this game, but some tactical tweaks in the past 10 minutes for Cano Smith has reaped rewards for Rhode Island, getting themselves back onto level pegging.
Play through the middle, nothing doing.
They've been impressive when they've been able to move the ball quickly.
Fuson, and the header by Doyle, bounding out of play.
When Rhode Island have been able to move the ball very quickly in 1 and 2 touches, they've been impressive in the way they've been able to move the ball, but also create chances off the back of that ball movement. Doyle here again making good runs into dangerous areas, just unable to get on top of that ball and head it down on target, but again posing that offensive threat that has been a little bit absent tonight.
Here comes Rhode Island's Quizera. Doyle, his cross easily headed away by Batista.
It's a good ball into a dangerous area. There's just nobody making the run. Williams was more towards the back post, but teasing crosses, asking a lot of questions.
There's Doyle. Just kind of got it caught in his feet. Could not connect. Another pass. Darcy steps in to break it up. Now Karifa Yao.
And Doyle again making runs into dangerous areas in between fullbacks and the defenders.
Bertiqua lays it off. Harivo, the cross. Out of the way by Batista. That time there were a few runners in the middle. Maybe a chance to break for North Carolina. Evan Conway, again, hasn't come to life too much in this second half. Conway. The ball was won. North Carolina will keep it.
Brilliant tackle there, I think it's from Yeo, who comes out and bails out Nodase. Nodase has to do a better job there. You know that Conway wants to come in on his left foot. You let him come onto his dangerous left foot, and lucky your teammate was able to bail you out in that situation. You've just got to show him down the line onto his weaker foot where he's going to be less dangerous. If you allow him to cut him at the angles, he has the opportunity to slip other players in or to take shots himself.
Foul. This will go against Raheem Summersall.
The tempo in this game is definitely elevated since we got that equalising goal. Both teams have found a little pep in their step, a little extra gear, and pushing for it now.
It might just be the end of July. Still a few more months to go in this season, but a night like this doesn't come around too often when you're going directly up against the team that you are competing for a playoff spot with.
I want to see Quizera keep going directly up against Brewer. This matchup has been exciting to watch tonight, and with Brewer on a yellow card, I think it can only get a little bit more interesting if they continue to do it.
A chance in the first half that J.J. Williams put just wide. That was Quizera getting around the corner of Brewer. We've gone back and forth all night long. Down the line, Fuson, can he catch up to it? He cannot. Don't forget the Eastern Conference standings. This is what it was coming into the night. Rhode Island in 8th, North Carolina in 9th. Loudoun and Pittsburgh drew tonight. It's a big chance for either Rhode Island or North Carolina to create some separation. And if it is Rhode Island to get a win, it's going to leave North Carolina then a full 3 points out of a playoff spot. Maybe a little bit more crucial for North Carolina tonight just to keep everybody within touching distance. North Carolina going a bit of a West Coast or Western Conference swing rather at Orange County and Colorado Springs, San Antonio, and Phoenix. Where they closed out the month of August against Louisville. Not an easy stretch of games by any means coming up. Lofted forward again. Broken up, and there's Dequa. Doyle. Rhode Island able to keep it.
Great step there from Nodase to intercept that pass.
Fuson deflected, and now Somersault. Gonna play it into space, and Koke Vegas is there.
You can see Fuson now operating in this wide right-hand side channel. Early in the game, he was a lot more central.
Too far out in front of Colin Martin. There's been just that one sub for North Carolina. I wonder if John Bradford maybe wants to go to his bench for some fresh legs. Williams cuts it in, trying to cut it back. Failed clearance, it's still there, and the shot is blocked. Well, that could have been trouble for North Carolina.
Yeah, you see Williams just has this little skill that he does where he sucks in the defender, and there's this little chop to give himself half a yard of space. Unlucky that occasion, but you could see the intent when he has the ball. He's just trying to work himself a little angle to get his shot off.
There's that matchup you're talking about. Quizera plays it infield for Doyle.
Yeah, and you can see it's good. It's actually good defending from Brewer. He doesn't dive in, but what it does, the longer that Quizera has the ball, you start to see 2 or 3 players getting attracted towards Quizera, which is then freeing up space for other players.
Colin Martin down, a chance to look back at this J.J. Williams attempt.
Ricochets. Brewer there, misses that one. Doyle tries to latch onto it. I think it's Quizera there, releases a left foot rifle, but Paco Craig's in the right position to block it.
Looks like Isaac Anking is getting some instructions. That might be the next one to come on. Will we get a winner here? A crucial game at the bottom of the playoff picture in the Eastern Conference. Ahead, it's Haribo. Zach Haribo! He is on some kind of hot streak. 3rd goal in 2 games, and Rhode Island leads.
And we just spoke about the tactical change of Fuson coming out to this right-hand side. What a pass. The timing of the run, the first touch, and the execution here from Haribo is absolutely unbelievable. Gets it under control, out his feet, composes himself, and releases a rocket past Maguire in goal to give him the go-ahead goal. We question whether Rhode Island could we didn't question whether they'd get the equalising goal. We knew they were going to score a goal. The question was, could they get 2 goals and potentially win at home for the 2nd time this season? With less than 10 minutes to go, they've done exactly that. With Rhode coming into the game and having the exact impact that his manager would have done, would have asked him to.
That goal presented by Capelli Sport. Well, that is the signing that has really turned the fortunes of Rhode Island over the last couple of games. The brace against Birmingham, and now what could be a game-winning goal for the USL Championship Player of the Week, Zach Harivo.
And you have to give Kenno Smith credit. You know, coaches have to make decisions and changes on the fly, and you can see that some of the tactical changes he's made. Fusion was the focus point as a number 9 early in the game. Now Fusion's come out to the right-hand side. Harivo's come into the game. Between those 2 changes, Harivo making the runs in behind, Fusion providing the service. They've got themselves ahead in this game.
So we talked about earlier, turning those draws into wins, a league-high 10 draws. But now, what looked like was just going to be another point, they might turn it into a full 3, and they're looking for more. Doyle was offside.
Doyle is another player who's, since he's come on, he's been fantastic. Imposing attacking threats, making runs in behind, getting on the ball, being involved in everything positive that they've done in the attacking third since he's come into the game. He's been a real breath of fresh air in this last 10 minutes of this game.
And now that is 7 straight games with multiple goals scored by Rhode Island. Here's Williams. Numbers here for Rhode Island.
Dequa using his body very well there.
Dequa, it's right at McGuire.
Dequa just using his body and positioning to gain the advantage over the defender.
Player down for North Carolina.
And it's interesting the referees stop the game, because they're advised only to stop the game if it's a head injury. It's a good gesture, but he really doesn't have to stop the game in that situation.
It's Bryce Washington, who is still hurting. Will be Isaac Enking to enter. And will also be a sub for North Carolina that will see Rodrigo DaCosta come on. So Isaac Enking to replace Albert Dequa, and Rodrigo DaCosta to replace Mikey Maldonado.
Really been the substitutions that have come into and changed this game. Both Doyle and Harivo, the 2 goal scorers, both came into the game off the bench and have had a great impact, a much needed impact for Rhode Island.
Two minutes plus stoppage time to go.
This will be a massive confidence lift for Rhode Island. When you haven't won so many games at home, it can sometimes linger in the back of your mind or in your mentality or the belief that you have, and then being able to win and continue to uptick in the performance that they're having. You know, the keys to the game was find a way. They found a way tonight.
Here comes Rhode Island going down. It'll be a free kick and a yellow card issued.
Well, I wouldn't say found a way, they're finding a way, because there's still time left in this game, and I don't want to anticipate that it's over yet. Still plenty of time for an equalising in goal, but you can see no Darce here, way up in the attacking third. Goals change games, momentum, energy. This could be a team that start to believe as they get closer and closer to the postseason and the form that they're in, that they could go on and upset some teams and achieve something maybe unexpected this season. If they're able to start turning their home performances into 3 points, they're not as far away from the top 3 as you may envision.
If they win tonight, they would be just 4 points off of a home playoff game. They play Indy 11, who's in that 4th spot in the East, in just a couple of days. touch this into play. Williams. It's out of play and a throw-in.
And as we spoke about, for a true expansion team to be finishing in the top, have the potential or the opportunity to finish in the top 4 and host potentially a home playoff game in the first year is a phenomenal accomplishment, or would be a phenomenal accomplishment.
We have reached stoppage time tonight from Byrne Stadium. There's 4 minutes of stoppage time. Is that enough time for North Carolina to get something going? They have not had much in these last few minutes. Ooh. Oh, a nutmeg to try to turn the corner. Can they put this one away? Enking couldn't get there. And Haribo rips down to Costa. And that is a yellow card.
Quazera continues to be my favorite player out there tonight. He's been threatening. He's been a menace to North Carolina's defense the whole game. Phenomenally talented player. Wingers who just love to get the ball and take players on.
Loaded forward. DaCosta moves it out wide. Anderson down the line. Shaft Brewer. The cross bouncing in. And Fuson gets it out.
This is where experience and game management comes into play. You need all 11 field players for Rhode Island to buy into having a defensive mentality and making sure they don't give up any goal scoring opportunities in these remaining 2 minutes.
Rhode Island looking to put the finishing touches on it. Enking out of play.
And it's always an up catch-22. Do you put the finishing touches in those moments, or do you go to the corner and try to kill the clock off? Now, North Carolina have possession of the ball. They have the opportunity to now go and create one more attack. Of course, if Enking scores that from the edge of the box, nobody says a word. But if North Carolina get the ball back now and go and create a goal-scoring chance and end up equalizing,
then you have an issue.
Sure,
and here's Anderson from a tough angle. Saved by Koke Vegas and cleared away.
And that's exactly the conundrum we were speaking about, Josh. Do you kill the clock, or do you continue trying to score goals and potentially allowing the opponents to build their own attacks once again?
You almost spoke it into existence, like you spoke the Evan Conway goal contribution.
I gotta stop speaking.
Into existence. No, please. DaCosta. North Carolina fans want you to keep speaking. It almost worked twice.
I think there's still one more chance in this game.
Alpha Menzingen. Get the better of Fuson. And that's touchdown of play. And a decent half chance, at least late in this game, for Olex Anderson.
Yeah, you can see it here. It's just a deflection, a ricochet that comes back, and Anderson gets lucky, right place, right time. The angle was just a little bit too tight for him to really have any clean chance of scoring. But still knocking at the door with seconds left, North Carolina. Really, it was the substitutions that changed the game for Rhode Island tonight.
Haribo coming off the bench again, and it could be his goal. It is the winner.
And that's why it's so important for every player on the roster to ensure that whether they're starting the game or coming into the game, they can have as just as big as impact as the players are starting. Haribo and Doyle, neither of them started this game, but you could argue that they've had the biggest impact since coming into the game. It's important that they make sure that they're in the right mindset, that when they do come into the game, they're able to give their best efforts and positively impact the team. And that's not always the case in substitutions, but that's definitely been the case tonight with these two.
Long throw down the line. Jostling for position. Somehow, Anderson came away with it. No foul. And that is full time. It's a come-from-behind victory tonight for Rhode Island at home. Just their second home win of their young existence. And Cano Smith gets the full 3 points.
Yeah, a great win for Rhode Island tonight, but we spoke about North Carolina getting the first goal. They had a great opportunity early in the second half for Martin to give them the second goal. They didn't take it. We knew that Rhode Island, given the form that they're in, were going to be able to get themselves on the score sheet. We questioned whether they would be able to get 2 and be able to claim all 3 points, and they answered that question. For the second time this season, Rhode Island have managed to win at home, and given the run of form that they're on, they keep to get stronger. They keep getting stronger week by week.
Let's take a look at our save of the match. It is presented by Centerville Bank. Make progress toward your goals with Centerville Bank, official bank partner of Rhode Island FC. Not a lot for Koke Vegas in this game. It was just this one at the end, and this defense was strong tonight.
Yeah, it's a tight angle here for Anderson. Defender covers the goalkeeper on the goal line, heads it away, and away from danger.
Full time tonight as Zach Haribo is the hero for Rhode Island. We will come back and wrap things up right after this. Full-time score, Rhode Island 2 and North Carolina 1.
Tastes great. Let's fill it. Tastes great. Let's fill it. Tastes great. It is both. It is both. It is both. It is both. It's both. Hey, thanks for the backup.
When you make your play and things just go your way,
I won.
That's a good play.
Since 1974, the Rhode Island Lottery has been a good play, awarding more than $57 billion to winning players, over $6 billion in commissions to local businesses, and over $8.8 billion to the general fund, supporting all of Rhode Island.
It's a really good play that can make your day.
The Rhode Island Lottery, a good play for Rhode Island for 50 years and counting.
Hey Providence, we're Breeze Airways, and we offer non-stop flights from Rhode Island's T.F. Green International Airport. We're redefining what it means to fly up front. This one's for you. Introducing Breeze Ascent, the newest, nicest way to fly. It's seriously comfortable, satisfying, and affordable. Book today at flybreeze.com and experience the nicest way to travel. Breeze Airways, seriously nice.
Tastes great. Let's fill it. Tastes great. Let's fill it. Tastes great. It is both. It is both. It is both. It is both. It's both. Hey, thanks for the backup.
Our final score is presented by High Bar Physical Therapy, the official physical therapy partner of Rhode Island FC. Visit highbarhealth.com today to begin your journey to feeling better, moving freely, and living fully. It reads Rhode Island 2 and North Carolina 1. It's time for our play of the match presented by Rhode Island Energy. And when you have a game winner, that's got to be the play of the match.
Yeah, Fuzon with a great through pass. Haribo, the timing of the run, the composure, the first touch, and then he buries this with venom into the back of the net, gives Maguire no chance.
His third goal in his last 2 games. He has been a great midseason signing for Rhode Island FC. To celebrate with his teammates, the full-time stats. There were no shots on target for Rhode Island at halftime. They changed that in the second half.
Yeah, it was the substitutes that came into the game and changed it for me. Both Doyle and Haribo, breath of fresh air, fresh energy, positive mentality, forward runs, forward mindset. They were the ones who came up with the key moments that really changed this game for Rhode Island. Yes, they did possess the ball. They probably were the better team over the course of 90 minutes. However, North Carolina did well to get the go-ahead goal, and they were defending exceptionally well. To keep that defense from getting shots on target in the first half was a phenomenal accomplishment. I think the substitutes just came into the game, provided a little bit too much pressure. Evidently, Rhode Island ran out winners.
And the second home win in Rhode Island's history, and they get to celebrate with their home fans tonight. That will do it for our coverage tonight from Byrne Stadium. For our entire crew and broadcast partner Chris Nurse, I'm Josh Eastern saying so long. Full-time score, Rhode Island 2 and North Carolina 1. Good night from Rhode Island.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.